Welcome back to the Thinking Big podcast. I'm your host, Sean Osborne, and if there's one thing you should know about me by now, it's that I am an unstoppable believer in human potential, and that the real magic begins once you decide you are in complete control of your inner world. So today we are diving into a topic I love to riff on. I can go all day long. Sometimes I call it the computer mindset, and this idea can be absolutely life-changing for you.
Welcome to the Thinking Big podcast with Sean Osborne, the show helping you think bigger into your life and potential. Sean believes by equipping you with the tools, strategies, and philosophies required to be successful in all aspects of your life, you can achieve anything you believe in. Empowering our own growth makes a deeply positive and lasting impact on our lives, community, and our world. Now, here's Sean.
Hey, Thinking Big listeners, this episode is brought to you by The Secrets of Success. This community is designed for individuals who seek more than just fleeting motivation and are ready to actively pursue their goals with certainty without sacrificing fulfillment. If you are not just content with liking motivational content, but are committed to becoming the change you wish to see in this world, it offers a blend of historical wisdom, practical application, and a supportive community for personal and professional growth. Just click on the link in the show notes to get more information. And I want you to imagine this for just a moment, that you are more than just a person made of flesh and blood. You are a living computer, a dynamic, complex, brilliantly designed system of systems continuously interacting and upgrading to create what we call life. And guess what? You are the programmer of this system. And you can reprogram your inner computer anytime you want in any way that you desire. How is that for empowerment? But here's the catch. You must learn to operate this infinite system that you've been gifted with. Nobody hands you an operating manual at birth, right? You have to roll up your sleeves and figure out how to code your life from the inside out. That's exactly what we're talking about today. Owning your internal operating system, what I call the UOS, so you can finally live in that high performance, high fulfillment state you've been dreaming of. Again, I'm Sean. I'm your host, your personal test dummy for all things self-development, mindset, and success. And over the years, I have built successful businesses, worked with incredible mentors, and guided countless people towards massive transformation. And my role is to share this with you so you can see how to upgrade that supercomputer of yours with greater ease. And if there's one concept I want you to latch on to today, it's this. You get to decide how you operate. This is a you and you thing. You get to decide. Just like installing a fresh new software update on your phone, you can constantly upgrade your beliefs, your routines, your habits, so that you, yes, you, can become the next best version of yourself. And we're not talking about fluff here. We're talking about the real, tangible, step-by-step approach to leveling up your self-awareness, your daily processes, and ultimately your entire life. So let's dig deeper. How do you operate this living computer? How do you become it? And how do these various parts mesh into what we call a harmonious, high-quality existence of life? Because that's what it's all about. Waking up each day excited, energized, and ready to see the best in ourselves and in life. And I've been really reflecting on how, over time, my personal computer has grown larger and more intricate. It's a bunch of sophisticated programs, my mindset program, my health program, my relationships program, my financial programs, all of which operate under this integrated philosophy, what I call the UOS. And for me, discovering how to seamlessly run all of these parts and program all these different parts was like striking gold. It felt like I cracked the code on how to, scale up my well-being and my success simultaneously without burning out or losing sight of what's most important. And here's what I'm driving at. You do not want a life that is just about outcomes. You want a life that is about growth, a continuous progression towards something even better. That's what makes us happy, is the progression of getting where we want to go. When you zoom out and you see yourself as a series of evolving programs, you give yourself permission to keep upgrading each one of those programs. Remember, you don't choose your original programming. You didn't do it. You were born into a specific environment, raised by the beliefs and the perspectives of your family. You might have heard of that quote, we are all tattooed in the cradle by the beliefs of our tribe. That is true. We're influenced by our early teachers, our peers, and shaped by our experiences that have washed over us without our permission. And by the time you realize it, there is all this stuff, these programs in your head, limiting beliefs about what you can or can't do, misguided notions of success, or twisted ideas about what happiness truly means. But now it's time to look under the hood of this computer and say, hey, crappy programs, thank you for getting me here so far, but you know what? It's time to upgrade yourself. Some of us got stuck with software that's about as useful as a glitchy dial-up connection, while others had a more nurturing environment like high-speed fiber optics to the internet, right? Some of you might have won the environmental and the family lottery while others didn't. But either way, we all have the power to do a total system override, rewriting our beliefs, designing new programs for our operating system, and stepping into the next level, the next version of ourselves. Now, let's say you decide, okay, yeah, I'm in. I'm going to do it. Sean, I'm really going to reprogram. Well, congratulations. You've just graduated to version 1.5 of you, right? And here's the thing. Version 1.5, it's going to be shaky. It's like an early prototype. There's going to be bugs. You might second guess yourself. You might wonder, if you're even capable of it. Can you even write new programs for yourself? But you know what? That is just part of the process. Everyone's version 1.5 is crap, but it's also packed with potential. And the moment you truly acknowledge that you can keep evolving, you realize, oh, the real gold is in the updates. Because yes, you can get to version 2.0, version 5.0, 10.0, 100.0, whatever it takes until you're operating at a level that you once thought absolutely impossible. This ongoing methodical improvement touches every aspect of your life, from how you relate to friends and family to how you cultivate your health and handle your finances. Each new layer of knowledge leads to new upgrades. Each new upgrade creates a faster, more efficient, more fulfilled you. What does that look like in practical terms? It's not just meditating or journaling once a week and hoping your life is going to change. It's taking a 360-degree view of your life and asking, how do I manage my time so I'm not constantly drained and overwhelmed? How do I build a strong financial future even if I've made money mistakes in the past? What kind of habits do I need to cultivate to stay healthy, energetic, and joyful? Which relationships fuel me and which ones drain me? So I can make the conscious choice about who I let into my life, who I let into my world, and who I hang out with. It's all about intentionally writing all these programs we operate with, our health, our relationships, our careers, our finances, our spirituality, whatever, our personal growth, to integrate with one another in a way that feels effortless and supportive. And if you know my story, you know that time freedom has become one of my most prized possessions. Life has taught me the hard way to cherish every single minute. For years, I've been perfecting how to schedule, where I pour my energy into, and what to say yes to, and more importantly, what to say no to. And guess what? The more I tune into my own personal operating system, the more harmony I discover in every corner of my life. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I see is that we fixate on just one big outcome, like an intense career goal or a random financial target, like, I'm going to make $1 million this year, while completely neglecting other essential parts of our lives. That's like putting all of your RAM into running one single application while the rest of your computer crashes left and right. It just burns, crashes and burns. Eventually, you might achieve your goal, but you find yourself exhausted, out of balance, and in your relationships, or even worse, your health are in disarray. I've been there. Early in my entrepreneurial days, I lived by the grind at all cost mentality, and when it paid off financially, I was thrilled for about a minute. Then reality kicked in. I realized that skipping out on real connections and neglecting my well-being was not worth the price. That's why I learned and now champion the idea of designing success through harmony. You don't just chase one goal. You evolve every part of your life so that by the time that you do reach the top of the mountain, you're still excited and invigorated enough to spot the next one. And let me tell you, there is nothing more satisfying than watching yourself evolve this holistic, balanced way, where you're hitting milestones in your work, feeling strong in your body, and nurturing beautiful relationships. It's like the difference between driving a car on 3 wheels and cruising on all 4 brand new tires. Just feels a lot smoother. Life is a lot smoother on 4 wheels, let me tell you. And while we're at it, let me reiterate something very critical. That is a skill set. Reprogramming yourself is not something that you master overnight. It's about repeated refinements, releasing old beliefs and adopting new ones, testing new routines and optimizing them until they fit naturally into your life. But if you commit to it, you will soon reach a point where you're upgrading your operating system on the fly, real time. Anytime you notice friction or find yourself drained, you immediately ask, is there a glitch in a program, and how do I rewrite that code? How do I install a new program where it's not? You become the proactive creator, constantly refining and improving and staying aligned with your core values and your desires. Think back how exciting it was the first time that you upgraded your phone from, say, a flip phone to a smartphone. And by the way, my dad just did that like last year. Insane. I can't believe he was still on a flip phone. Anyways, or any other older phone to a new version. Remember how it felt like you've stepped into a whole new world of possibilities. Now imagine feeling that way about yourself, your mindset, your confidence, your entire life setup. That's what's happening when you step into the role of a visionary designer of your own operating system, of your own life. You're no longer a passenger, hoping for better circumstances. You're the pilot, deciding exactly where you want to go, charting the route, and pressing the thrusters whenever you are ready to level up. That to me is the ultimate rush. I often say, fall in love with the thrill of surprising yourself every single day, because let's be honest, nothing beats the surge of excitement that comes from realizing, wow, I can actually do more than I ever thought possible. That is such a rush. Suddenly, you're self-generating your own motivation and excitement. You don't need external validation or someone else to hand you a gold star. Your day-to-day life becomes your trophy. That's the beauty of living as an evolving computer. The more you upgrade your programs, the more synergy you create in your health, your wealth, your purpose, your love, your joy. Outcomes become less of a must-have or do-or-die scenario and more like a natural mile marker on a never-ending road of expansion. I've seen this play out in my own life, from the kid who once had nowhere to call home, to building businesses and forging relationships with brilliant minds, to standing here talking with you today. Every upgrade along the way has reinforced the truth. Harmony plus unstoppable evolution equals extraordinary life. But it's not just about big external achievements. It's about the inner transformation. Every time you rewrite your beliefs and habits, you're telling your subconscious mind, I am capable of change, growth, and endless possibilities. That unstoppable force inside you is just waiting to be unleashed. You can see it in the mirror, hear it in your thoughts, and feel it in the start of every day with a sense of purpose burning in your gut and burning in your soul. And guess what? When that internal programming starts to shift, the world outside you will rearrange itself to match your upgraded programs. The right people, resources, opportunities will start to align. Doors you didn't see before will burst open. People will look at you and say, how are you doing all of that and still staying sane and energized? And you'll just laugh because what used to be complicated for you is now just become second nature. So how do we execute this in a more nuts and bolts way? Let me give you a quick reprogramming starter kit. Number 1, assess your current programs. Break your life into buckets: health, relationships, careers, finance, personal growth, fun. Ask yourself, which systems need the most attention right now? What do I need to work on today? Identify what's running smoothly and what's buggy and outdated, right? What systems need to be upgraded? Clarify your desires and upgrades. In each area, set a clear intention. What's the next milestone? Maybe it's doubling down on your fitness routine or spending more quality time with your spouse and your kids. Maybe it's shifting your money mindset from scarcity to abundance. Design your new programs. For each subsystem, outline new habits, new beliefs, new processes that you want. For instance, you might create a morning routine that includes writing down your goals, doing a short workout, or reading for 10 minutes on a topic that inspires you. Then you need to implement and iterate. You always iterate. Start taking action immediately, but be prepared to adapt. If you hit snags, which you will, rewrite the program. Snag, rewrite. Snag, rewrite. That's the beauty of growth. You don't have to wait for the perfect plan. You just have to be willing to revise, upgrade, and keep going. Seek mentorship and inspiration. Hang around people who operate at a higher frequency than you do. We learn by osmosis. Surround yourself with mentors or friends who've already mastered certain aspects of their own lives. Listen to motivational podcasts, read the best books on personal development, or join communities that elevate you to where you want to be. With each small win, you are providing to yourself that you can manifest bigger and better things. Before you know it, version 1.5 transforms into version 2.0, version 3.0, and so on. Every iteration refining your ability to craft a life genuine and balanced and fulfilled. And look, I am not pretending that this happens overnight or that I've got everything all figured out. And if you were to rewind my journey, you'd see all of the stumblings I did to figure out the simplest way to manage my time, to keep my energy high, to maintain focus on the goals that mattered. I had plenty of missteps and frustrations. But trust me, there is no price too high to pay for gaining mastery over your own life's operating system. I want to say that again. There is no price too high to pay for gaining mastery over your own life's operating system. Imagine never having to say, one day I'll fix my finances, or one day I'll get in shape, or one day I'll chase my dreams. Instead, you wake up and realize you were already doing those. You were already in those changes have already taken action. Version 1.5 might be basic, but it's the launch pad for everything that follows. You have to start at 1.5. You got to start there. And I promise once you adopt this mindset, you'll be amazed at how quickly new dreams replace your old limitations. You might start with a desire to pay off all your credit card debt, and 6 months later find yourself actually brainstorming your first investment property. You begin by walking 10 minutes a day and end up running a half marathon or even an Ironman. That's what I did. I couldn't walk to my cupboard for cookies, and next thing I knew it, I was doing Ironman. Or you decide to read a single chapter every morning, and before long, you're producing your own content, sharing your own insights with the world. This constant evolution is the very thing that creates a sense of wonder. You walk around saying, wow, I didn't know I could do all of this, but guess what? You can. And that's the power of owning your operating system from top to bottom. You own everything in it. And let me emphasize this. Anyone can do it. If you ever feel disheartened, like maybe you're too old or too young or too deep in debt or too stuck in a toxic relationship, this is your wake-up call. I'm living proof that it doesn't matter how rough your starting point is, you can rewrite your future. The same systems that made me an aimless kid on the streets can be reprogrammed to make me a thriving father, mentor, entrepreneur, and host of this very podcast right here. Now, each new version of you is going to come with its own set of challenges. But that's the beauty of this approach. Once you know that you can rewrite the programs that you operate, you can stop fearing errors. You stop worrying that everything has to be perfect the first time, because it doesn't. It's not going to be. You feel the momentum, the unstoppable forward drive of being your own programmer. So if you're listening to this right now, maybe there's a program you're running that's crying out for an update, an outdated career, a draining environment, or a negative self-talk loop that is messing with your beliefs in yourself. And the time to handle that glitch is right now, right this second. Don't let it run in the background for another day, draining your battery. Bring it to the forefront of your awareness. Make a plan and start the reprogramming process. Yes, it might be scary to confront something that you have left on autopilot for years, but trust me, the minute you start debugging that old program, it's like cleaning thousands of viruses from your PC. You're going to be amazed at how much faster and cleaner your life feels. A big reason I am so passionate about sharing this computer mindset approach is that it liberated me from the worst parts of my own programming. It's why I wrote my book, The UOS. It's allowed me to unlock a life that to this day shocks me in the very best way. Waking up with gratitude every day, feeling in control, seeing the doors open where I once saw walls. The doors weren't just closed, they were solid walls. It's not an accident. It's the direct result of designing my entire life with intention. Yes, I still think big, and I encourage you to do the same, but I don't chase those dreams at the expense of my health or my relationships anymore. I nurture my family bond. I choose how I spend my time. I get to be a present father, grandfather, friend, mentor, because I built those systems, I built those programs in alignment with my deepest values. And the results blow me away every single time. The more I fine-tune, the more momentum I pick up, the more excited and limitless I know my life becomes. Every new idea, like a new project, a new collaboration, or a new hobby, fits right into my system because it's all integrated. No more hustle and collapse cycles, no more one-dimensional chasing at the cost of everything else, just ever-evolving synergy. And the best part, it doesn't have an expiration date. You can keep upgrading until your final breath. How cool is that? Imagine living your entire life in a state of forward motion, never bored, never stagnant, always unveiling more of that special potential inside of you. Look, my goal with this episode was to reboot the conversation about seeing yourself as a powerful, programmable force. I want you to hear this loud and clear. The version of you who's listening to this right now might be just at the brink of version 1.0. Maybe you're at 2.0 or 4.7 or 10.3. It doesn't matter. There's always another level. There's always room for a brand new system update. And that, my friends, is the rocket fuel for your life. Wake up every day and say, all right, time to program, time to upgrade. Ask what your next micro upgrade is. It could be a single new habit, a single positive affirmation, or just an extra 10 minutes of quality time with your kids. Because each small shift you make in your system ripples out, bringing your entire life into greater alignment. It's beautiful, it's empowering, and best of all, it's yours for the taking. All right, well, that's enough geeking out for now. And I could go on for days with this about how we can program every aspect of our life, but I think you get the bigger picture here. You are the hardware, you are the software, and you are the programmer. When you fully embrace that, life just opens up in ways you never imagined. And before we wrap this up, remember, start with awareness. Identify the beliefs, the habits, the processes that you want to or you need to upgrade. Embrace version 1.0. It's never perfect. It's always going to be worth starting though. Keep iterating. Don't stop at 1.5. March all the way up to 100.5. It doesn't matter. Keep going. Seek harmony, not just outcomes. You want success that feels as good as it looks from the outside. And that, my friends, is how you build a life of perpetual growth, perpetual life, and perpetual fulfillment. And if there's anything I want you to remember this, it's because I've walked this road from being completely lost at 14 to designing a life that allows me to dream bigger than I ever thought possible. And it's all thanks to mastering my own internal operating system. So let's do this together, right? Let's commit to living at the highest level that we can imagine, savoring every single upgrade and staying open to the wonders that come when we are bold enough to be the architects of our own existence. Thank you so much for tuning into the Thinking Big podcast. And if you found this valuable here, go ahead and share this episode with a friend or family who is ready to do their own upgrade. Leave a review or comment because your feedback, it fuels me. It keeps me pushing out fresh content that can elevate our collective experiences as a community. You hold the entire programming manual in your hands. Step up, step in, and reprogram your life into something that is extraordinary for you. Go out there, evolve, and keep thinking big. And until next time, keep upgrading, keep expanding, and keep believing in the limitless potential that lives inside of you.